Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm coming to you from my crawl space. Not a place I usually like to be in this house. But I wanted to show you my sliding cabinet that I put together here. And the reason I decided to do this was because, well, I'm completely out of space in this incredibly small house. And the crawl space is really, you know, the last stand. So only, as you can see from my stooping a second ago there, there's only about 4.5 feet of space in this section of the crawl space, and then once you get over there past where you see that second fluorescent light, it's probably only about 3 feet. So past where the end of this cabinet is now, there's maybe another 3 feet that's still about 4.5 feet tall, and then you're just gradually getting smaller and smaller and smaller as you go back towards where the furnace is and stuff. You can see down at the end there, it really is in fact a crawl space. Anyway, so I got this cabinet for free from work. It's made out of plywood, built in the 50s, so it's pretty solid. It's actually a little overbuilt, honestly. The doors are an inch. The doors are an inch thick, and you can see that here. But the cabinet empty weighs about 100 pounds. Anyway, so the issue is, it's like, well, I already, you know, I've got plywood and boards and stuff stored along the wall over there. You can kind of see some of that there. I didn't want to, you know, get rid of that wall space and mount a shelf or cabinet to that wall. I wanted to kind of have that freed up. So I came up with this. What this is, these are trolleys that I made myself. I have a video on how that was done. They're made out of old interior door hinges and some ball bearings. And there are 4 of them that hold this. There are 4 of them that hold this cabinet up, and they are suspended in a piece of Unistrut. Which is, of course, a trade name, brand name. That's Strut Channel, the unofficial generic term for it. Oh, here's a piece of it right here. You know, this stuff, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen this friggin' everywhere. So anyway, without any further ado, let me show you how this thing works. So right now the cabinet is filled with stuff. Completely filled with stuff. Let's take a look here. What we got here? I got old car radios, more old car radios, headlights. So it's pretty well filled right now. But it's really not that bad to move. Yeah, there we go. Get that thing out of our way. So now I got access to the shelf behind it. So really trying to use up as much of the easily, you know, right here. There's a door to the crawl space. It goes outside. So this area right here is an area that I can access easily. I've even got my my little air compressor down here. You know, I've got an electrical outlet up against the wall here. I got paint cans and stuff like that. So this is an area that I get to frequently. That over there, now that the cabinet slid over, you can really see what I'm talking about. Especially if I walk over to it. I really don't have a lot of headroom. So, I mean, I can get this stuff there. But it's really inconvenient. Plus, now my pile of all the boards is blocked. So anyway, just grab this handle, and now I can access all the boards and plywood and stuff that's over there. So normally, I just have this in the push down here position, because the stuff that I access most regularly is on the shelf, and the stuff that's in the cabinet I don't really use as frequently. But still, it's a heck of a lot easier when you're looking for something, rather than have to walk over there where it's kind of low clearance. Slide this thing down here and just go through it here, you know? So this is it's much more convenient. So anyway, trying to make use of the small area of my crawl space that is actually walkable, and that's how I did it. Here's a close-up of how everything's mounted. I am using, I believe, 12 feet of Unistrut on each side. So they come in 10-foot lengths. That's the standard length. And then there's a 2-foot section. My floor happens to be 24 inches on center, so that actually worked out well. To suspend it from the ceiling, I've used a large head construction screw and a large fender washer. And then to level it out, when I hung it, I had to use washers in some places since the floor joists were not all perfectly level, as a house that was built by morons would probably be expected to be. One of the things that I did do, you can see there's no seam there. That's because I put the seam over here on this piece. The reason I did that, I figured I'd stagger the seams so there'd be less of a chance of the trolleys getting hung up on one of these areas where the joint is. So I think that, and so far that's worked out beautifully. So anyway, push this thing out of my way. Now the only thing that you might want to do, and I probably will, is probably put a bolt straight through the end of that, so that there's no chance of running this thing off the end of the track, because that would be really bad. So that's my crawl space sliding cabinet. Hope you like it. Hope you found it interesting. Maybe can inspire you to use something similar in this way. I'm sure happy with the way this worked out myself. So if anybody else has some serious space restrictions, or height restrictions more like in my case, then maybe you might want to do something like this.